at 2511 South University Drive in Davie and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
This is the Big O Show.
There's many ways to support our program, from subscribing and liking the show to visiting our terrific sponsors. Another way is using Cash App. If you would like to donate to the show and help us grow, download Cash App and search Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. We appreciate your support as we continue to build the best sports show on the planet for South Florida sports fans. Support the Big O Show by using Cash App and donate to Cash Big O Show. Thank you for your incredibly loyal support.
This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Starting in August, longtime Miami Heat insider Ira Winderman joins the Big O Radio Show. Ira will give insight twice a week on your favorite NBA team. Heat fans get the information you crave from one of the best in the business. From weekly appearances to breaking news, join Ira Winderman exclusively on the Big O Show. Found on most platforms.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing a personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
It's a beautiful thing. Welcome aboard to a Wednesday edition of the show. We are on the road, baby, at Caneswear, 2511 South University Drive in Davie. See, my hair is already getting all wild and stuff. That's what you get for having long hair out in the open. But anyway, welcome aboard. Time to have a little fun. Obviously, we're at Caneswear, right, where you always have fun. Appreciate all of you out there already tuning in and hanging in there because we had a little technical difficulties. It's Wi-Fi here, not hardline. So I know that the YouTube feed is going to not be as consistent as it normally is every single day. So I appreciate those of you out there tuning in. Hopefully everything will get a little better as the show moves on. Manny Navarro set to join us in hour number 2 with our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report. We got a bunch of things to talk about, obviously, today. We got Navarro out at the ACC kickoff. We've got the NBA Finals, Marlins again. We got Inter Miami in action. I got my Inter Miami shirt on today. Hopefully they can finally win, although they're playing the best team in the conference, which doesn't give me a lot of hope. I got some interesting sound I want to share with you guys. I want to talk a little bit about, Tom Brady, the Heat, Deion Sanders, Rachel Nichols. I mean, there's a bunch of things. Got some stuff also Dolphins-wise that I want to mention, and an NFL player that clearly isn't very bright. So we got I think we got a lot of things to do here to talk about. GP Trap goes, I don't look at you anyway, Big O, which that's that's a smart idea, actually. I don't even know how my wife does it, but I appreciate those that actually try. You know what I'm saying? So last night, the Bucks defeat the Suns 105-98 to capture the NBA championship. And I got to tell you, I was really entertained with the entire game. The performance by Giannis was one for the ages. One that when I look at it, I say, okay, this is a guy that is gone against everything. And remember what we talked about last week I think it was on Monday that I told you Tua and Giannis have a lot of have something in common, not a lot, have something in common. And they kept telling Giannis what he can't do. And yet he found a way to overcome it. And hell, last night, 17 of 19, was it right? From the free throw line, what they said he couldn't do, right? And yeah, he still can't shoot threes. I get all of that. But it's the same thing as with Tua, right? Oh, well, no, he's not as big as I thought. His arm is not as explosive as I thought and all this. And none of that matters. What matters is, can you get the job done? And last night, Giannis proved. And he proved it in many ways. And this is where we all have to kind of appreciate what's gone on with him, because over the last 10 years, all I hear is whining and complaining about super teams. And it's usually, they should have stayed like Jordan did and Bird did and Magic did. And yeah, it's really nice to stay where they actually know how to build a champion. You know what I mean? That's kind of the catch too, you know? That is the key. And so they stayed and they won, but then everybody picked on whether it was the Heat. A lot of people didn't talk about the Celtics with Garnett and Ray Allen, because that was kind of the first of the modern day super teams that were created, and they won their title. And then Miami did it and got a whole bunch of heat, right? And then Brooklyn's doing it now. The Lakers did it last year with LeBron and AD getting together. And here's a young man that did it old school style, that did it the same way Oscar Robinson did it in the early 70s when he was there along with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and they ended up winning a championship. And so now 50 years later, he's able to bring a championship to a small market by staying there. So what I don't want is people to start taking, credit away from the Milwaukee Bucks. They're the ones that lasted all the way to the end of the season. Giannis bent up his knee and hyperextended it, and we thought he was probably done for the rest of the playoffs. And somehow or another, the young man comes back, Middleton keeps it together, and they finish the job, and they end up winning. And listen, I understand that Brooklyn, if healthy, maybe could have beat them, but that's the problem, if. And if doesn't count. If is for losers. If this, if that. You got to. Part of winning a championship is not only being the best team, it's a battle of attrition. You've got to stay on the court. You've got to stay healthy. You've got to find a way to fight through the physical pain, the mental anguish, the pressure, everything that comes with it. And if you don't make it all the way to the end, well, then you don't deserve to win it. And last year, the Lakers were able to stay healthy, and Miami was not. And unfortunately, it sucked. I hated to see Bam and Goran get injured, but that's part of the game. Part of this is why we admire Cal Ripken, because he played 2,000, whatever it was, 200 games. Do you know what it takes to play 2,200 games? It takes a lot to get up every single game and never have an injury. Or even if you have some kind of a nick or a knack, you're playing through it. That's part of greatness, man. And that's what Giannis showed us yesterday. That was greatness. Greatness was the effort. Greatness was the production. Greatness was winning. Greatness was fighting through the injuries. Because right now, you have to think that his knee is still not 100%. And yet, he went out and scored 50 points, 14 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 block shots. And let me tell you something. It's rare that you see a lead superstar do all the things that he did last night on the offensive and defensive end. So let's not, by any stretch, start tearing down this championship and the effort that the Bucks put together. Look, I was rooting for the Suns. I picked them in 6. It's Bucks in 6. That's the way it goes. They are the better team. They are the team that wanted it. And this is why I told you a couple of games back, once Milwaukee tied it, I told you that the Suns have to be very careful now. No, I'm sorry. When Milwaukee won one of the games and it was 2-1, I said the Suns have to be careful now. They need to steal one because we don't know how young teams are going to react. All of a sudden it goes to 2-2 and you go back to Phoenix and you don't win, it's over. I didn't have a lot of hope for the Suns last night at that point. At that point, I was like, hey, man, I'm wrong on this one. Suns they're not going to get it done. So appreciate what he's done, because for those of you that complain about the super teams, and look, I'm not one that really complains about the super teams because I don't care how you win a championship as long as you do it in the rules. Look, I'm not a Yankees fan. Never been a Yankees fan. Don't care about the damn Yankees. But the rules have never stopped them from adding players. If they can spend more than others, well, then change the rules and make it a hard cap for everybody. But the Yankees aren't cheating over the years. If they can afford more players, if the Dodgers can afford more players than others, if Chicago can, that's the sports rules. So I don't take it against. So the Yankees have been super teams since I was a child and 50 years before that, and I'm 54. They've been doing the super team thing for 100 years. Since they bought Babe Ruth from the Boston Red Sox. So this is none of this is new. Okay? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar joining Magic Johnson. This is not new. This has been going on for a long, long time where people have teamed up. But for those of you that think that you got to do it all organically, and in a way they didn't because they still had to trade for Drew Holiday in the offseason. They had to give up 3 first-rounders and switch on 2 other ones or something. And, I mean, they gave up the world for Drew Holiday, and it worked out. They got their championship because they weren't going to win it without Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday also, Drew, Middleton, and Giannis did kind of end up forming a big 3. I'll tell you this, their big 3 is better than Brooklyn's. And I know what you're saying. You're crazy, they're more talented. Yeah, they are, but they can't stay healthy. So, it's a battle of attrition, right? These 3 guys were tougher than those 3 guys. That's the bottom line. They're the ones that got through it, and Brooklyn did not. And this is nothing new for Kyrie Irving to be breaking down or anything like that. His body's been breaking down since he was in Duke. Remember, the only year he was at Duke, what did he play, like 5, 6, 7 games or something? You remember, Sean? I don't know what it was, but I want to say Kyrie Irving played only a couple of games the one year he played at Duke because he was injured. So the fact that he got injured in the playoffs is nothing new to Kyrie Irving because he's constantly getting injured. His body doesn't hold up to the battle, and this is why you must appreciate what Giannis did yesterday. What he did yesterday was just an incredible feat by a superhuman. And let me tell you, let's pull up the sound. His soundbite is one to live for the ages, one to help some of you out there that are, so against the super teams and all that stuff. To me, it doesn't matter how you build it, man. If you draft it, if you trade for it, if you sign it in free agency, the bottom line is you have to make the right decision in putting the right players together in order for you to win. And while Milwaukee was able to draft 2 of their 3, they still had to trade for a guy. They still had to add Brook Lopez also in free agency. You know what I mean? So it's not as easy. And by the way, they also lost Dante DiVincenzo in the playoffs. And don't laugh. That guy was important to their rotation. He was one of the guards that helped offensively, and Dante also helps out defensively. That was a key piece that they lost here along the way, and they overcame that too. Here's Giannis last night talking about this victory.
Stubborn side. Like, it's easy to go somewhere and go and win a championship with somebody else. It's easy. I could go, I don't want to put anybody in the spot, but I could go to a super team and, just do my part and win a championship, still win. But this is the hard way to do it, and this is the way. And we did it. We did it. This should make every person, every kid, anybody around the world to believe in the dreams, and no matter whatever you feel, when you feel down, when things don't look like it's going to happen for you, or you might not make it in your career, it might be basketball, it might be anything. Just believe in what you're doing, keep working. Don't let nobody tell you what you can be or what you cannot do. People told me I can't make free throws. I made my free throws tonight, and I'm a freaking champ.
I love it. And that was fantastic. And, it's in a way, I got to tell you something. I found inspiration in that myself, because as those of you that have followed my career lately, the last couple of years, John Rouse is in the house. As those of you that have followed my career lately, I have had a couple of bumps in the road, where I think a lot of people would have quit this business already. And in a way, watching Giannis fight through, it kind of reminds me of what I have to do every single day in order to fight through all of this. But again, you just, you get to a point where you have to give someone credit for what they do. And Giannis, his determination, his will, his fight, his belief. Hey, we all called him an idiot pretty much to a T when he signed that contract. Oh, dude, he stayed in Milwaukee. He'll never get it done there. He's staying in Milwaukee. Why? Because we're so brainwashed that you've got to go to Miami and Boston and the Lakers or, one of those kind of places in order to win, right? At least go to the Dallas Mavericks, go to San Antonio. There's a couple of spots that we call, okay, Clippers kind of started to become that kind of a destination, but there aren't a lot of them. You don't go to Sacramento. You don't go to Orlando. Look at Atlanta now, right? Maybe they become a sexy destination, but normally you wouldn't go to Atlanta. You certainly don't go where Michael's at in Charlotte. You know what I mean? There's so many destinations around the NBA that you don't go to because that's what we've been programmed to not win a title. Meanwhile, there's Phoenix and Milwaukee in the finals now. Two of the non-traditional type of teams that are in these championships. So again, let's give this man some love. Don't take away the credit that he deserves. And the effort that he put together is an inspiration for all of us. And no matter what line of work that you do, if you're an artist and you're struggling, if you're a radio host and try to figure out and create the final home for you, whatever it is that you're trying to do in life, I think Giannis can be an inspiration for all of us because he went against the grain on everything, dude. He can't shoot. He'll never lead if he can't learn how to shoot. He's staying in Milwaukee. They're not a super team, yada, yada, yada. And there's because we didn't really look at Giannis, Middleton, and Drew as a super team, as a big three. But it kind of worked out, didn't it? Drew Holiday helped out on offense, was a terror on defense, took Chris Paul he made him the cardboard that he is in the commercials. Okay? And Middleton hit big shot after big shot after big shot. And then, of course, Giannis hit his shots, hit free throws, and made some defensive plays like we have rarely ever seen a superstar make. We've seen occasional defensive plays, but not a collection of defensive plays that we've watched like that man was able to produce last night, or throughout this series, or throughout the entire playoffs, by the way. Just hats go off to Giannis, man. That's all I can say. All right, remember, many ways to reach out to us. YouTube, of course. Got the chat board there. I got John Rouse. John Rouse is not in the chat board. He's in the house here, right here next to us at Caneswear. Always love it to see John here. Thank you, John. Appreciate you, my brother. Email, of course, Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com. Twitter at Big O Show. And, of course, you can support our show through Cash App and Venmo. It's Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. If you want to send it in, you could do it there. I got to thank another one of our listeners. Mitchell came by, and it looks like Mitchell isn't as technical savvy, so he actually came by and made a personal donation. He goes, oh, you always talk about this Cash App and all that, and so I guess he wasn't, so he came by and made a donation, which we appreciated, Mitchell. Thank you, sir. However it is you guys support us, smashing the like button is one of the biggest things that you can do for us, obviously. Downloading is enormous, and subscribing, all of those things are important. Again, I can't thank you enough for our download numbers that have been absolutely, outstanding overall. The other thing I wanted to talk about, Monty Williams. He went into the locker room of the Bucks yesterday to congratulate them. And I got to tell you something. He's become my second favorite coach in the NBA right now. Obviously, Spo's my number one. But how many times do you see the opposing coach take a moment to go into the locker room in the middle of the jubilation and the celebration and be brutally honest and sincere about, congratulating them on their win? And I saw it from Monty Williams, and I thought that's just an example. Again, there's a lot of things that come from this series. The winner in Giannis, the way he carried himself, and then unfortunately the folks that ended up losing in the Suns, and the way Monty Williams carried himself. And in a world where we don't see a lot of, let's say, great character sometimes in sports, we certainly don't see it in life, but in sports sometimes it rears its ugly head. It's nice for Monty Williams to set an example Maybe for little league coaches that can't handle a loss. Maybe for high school coaches that also maybe are a little too extreme, a little too intense for all of this. Monty Williams, everything's on the line. And let me tell you, that man was hurting. If you watch that press conference, it just got to a point where it was too much for him. It was emotional, and he had to walk out. And I think it's also because there's a part of Monty Williams that, remember what I told you a couple days ago about the Suns. They have to be careful. And I said it last week. They have to be careful and avoid their Marino moment. And the Marino moment, by what I mean by that is, those of us that are old enough, we know Marino got there and thought he was going to be there every year after he got there early in his career, extremely early in his career. And he thought it was that easy that he'd be back, and he never went back again. And that's what Monty knew last night when he was sitting there, and it hurt. It's because he's played the game, he's been around the game, and he understands that nothing is guaranteed. And he doesn't know if his Suns will be able to make it back next year. And so that's why when you're up to nothing, you have to find a way to close it out. You know, I know Lisa's probably hurting right now, our resident Suns fan. I don't know if I see her on the board there. Lisa, hang in there if you're listening, or you download it later on. But, I mean, there's a lot of things to be proud of in this series. And the way Monty Williams carried himself, the way Giannis carried himself, even the way Chris Paul handled his press conference too. And he was handed some doozies in that press conference, and we'll share one later. But, you know, it's, again, I got to give them a lot of credit. I don't know if you guys caught it, but when they won the championship, there was a moment where they panned over to Devin Booker right at the end of the game, and he goes, "Damn." You know, it was just like, and it's sat. Now, I look at Booker's stats from last night, and he has no one to blame but himself. He played 46 minutes, shot 8 of 22, and 0 of 7 from three-point range. And I think about towards the end of the game, that second to last three-pointer that he missed, which could have cut it. I believe it could have cut it to 3, and he missed it, or 3 or 4, I think it was. But that would have been an enormous 3, and he missed it. He misses another one that really, at that point, really the game was over. Then he still had a little bit of a shot at that moment, and this is a young man that probably will grow up to be a fantastic player, an all-star, a superstar, all of that. I saw Kobe miss a brutal shot in I believe in the Western Conference Finals, or maybe the semifinals. I forgot which one it was. And he was super young, and he was able to bounce back from it. And if Booker's mentally tough enough, he'll be able to bounce back from it. But these are the moments that we talked about. We don't know if they were ready for it. You know what I mean? So that's where you look at this entire situation, and you kind of feel for the Suns and for their fans, because they're here, and you had that 2-0 lead. You had that opportunity to win it all, and you weren't able to do it, man. It's tough sledding for the Phoenix Suns. Question is, remember, reach out to us also on the email at Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com and Twitter at Big O Show. So do you bring CP3 back? Right? He's got an option, and I'm sure he's going to pick it up, and he's going to come back. But you look at it, and if you're Phoenix, I don't know if you have a chance of moving him. If you're Phoenix, what do you do with Chris Paul at this point? How do you handle his season? And if you could get to the postseason, how do you handle his body? Remember, this is a guy, just like Kyrie Irving, breaks down a lot. Almost broke down earlier in the playoffs with a shoulder injury. And I know Chris Paul said, well, you got to get back to work, and I commend him for it. I commend his, mental toughness and his attitude for all of that. But he left a lot to be desired. I mean, at one point yesterday or last night in the game, Mark Jackson said, Chris Paul's got to be better. I mean, at this point in your career, when the Hall of Fame is already etched in stone for you, do we have to really say that? That means you've fallen pretty far off. And I get it. He played a decent game last night. All right. CP3 had 26 points, 11 of 19, 1 of 2 from three-point range. Now, he only had 5 assists and 3 turnovers. That's not good for a point guard. So Drew Holiday did not allow him to run the offense. A lot of times you just saw him sitting out there, waiting out there in the three-point line. Hell, sometimes he was so backed up, he was close to the half court. You know, and that tells me already that athletically and physically, do you not have it anymore to stay with everybody? Because they took you out of all of this. And if you're the Suns, you have to be incredibly uncomfortable with this situation now. While he meant a lot to your foundation and your culture early on, unfortunately, it comes down to, can you get the job done? And now that's the question you have to ask now if you're the Phoenix Suns. Do you find a way to go get another point guard? Because if he opts in, okay, fine. He opts in, you either trade him, but if you keep him, do you have space? Can you find a way to add another point guard to alleviate the load from Chris Paul, to maybe limit his minutes, to keep him as fresh as possible throughout the year and into the playoffs? I think that's something that James Jones and Monty are going to have to work on and talk about behind the scenes, because what is clear now is that Chris Paul no longer can physically handle the load of carrying a franchise and running it from the beginning of the season to the end of the playoffs. Okay? Because he's not the Chris Paul that we've been used to in years past. And this is one of the, and again, I'll mention it like I've mentioned it a couple of times, and I'm glad I was on that side. When Miami was interested, I never wanted to see this guy here. And not because he can't play, not because he's not a Hall of Famer, it's because he's unreliable. And he was unreliable physically. Now he's unreliable athletically. That's a problem. That's a huge problem for the Phoenix Suns that they're going to have to figure out how to get around that. All right, reach out to us on YouTube. If you got the chat board there in front of you, let me do a little roll call. We haven't done any roll call today. GP Trap is in. And as always, reminds everybody to smash the like button. I love that. Steve Chapman in. Omar Lopez. John Rouse was in the text and live. How about that? Gus 1388. Eugene 96. NorCal says, wake up, tune in, and enjoy Big O Radio Show, making the workday a breeze since the 90s. Thank you for reminding me that I'm freaking old, NorCal. Eugene 96, pay X like Darrelle Revis year to year. Eugene, they already paid X. Again, some of you don't want to live with the consequences that if you rework a contract after 1 year, you are now going to have to rework all the other contracts. Or if not, you've got hell to pay. And, you know, again, I think with Omar's discussion and myself the other day, I think there's really not that much of a difference in the money. They're making it out more than it is, and it's kind of a convenient argument, especially when you try to swing the signing bonus over to the final year of the rookie deal and not count it part of the current contract, which that doesn't make any sense. You got to count it, man. That's all part of it. That's the new money that you're getting. Troy Ortiz is in. DF in. Jay Gelfin is in. Says, I'm going to see Inter Miami CF versus New England Revolution tonight. Will you be there? I'll be watching it on TV. Are you going to Dangerous Minds, Jay? Is that what you're saying? Tell me if you're going to Dangerous Minds. My problem is that I came from Kendall and I'm coming up here to Davie to do a show. I got a meeting in Hialeah, and then I would have to go back up to Pompano. But I would do it. Let's see. Come on, guys. There's 18 of us, 10 likes. Oh, I don't know how many there is now because I haven't. Let me refresh here. And I'm with Steve. We got to pick up the likes. Let's go. Pick them up. Way to go, Steve. Appreciate you, brother, looking out. What else do we have here? Congratulations to the Bucks. That was a great final. And like I said, the Suns screwed up when they gave up the game 3, and lost. They woke up a sleeping giant and gave them life, and here's the outcome. Exactly. There's nothing else you can do, man. Let's see. Came across a video on YouTube where Reggie Wayne had a kappa on 305. The U is intermixed with the O in the 305. Some sites say they have it, but they really don't. I know here they have a bunch of those 305 caps because I've seen them. They may have the U305 one. What I'll do is at the top of the hour, we'll take a break and we'll get ready for Manny Navarro. When I take the break, I'll go see if they have the 305 hats here, and I'll show you on the camera. Okay, I'll bring them out and everything, and I'll show you which ones, if they have that 305U. All right, I'll find it for you because they have 100 hats here. I may be exaggerating, maybe it's 80, but I mean it's a lot. They got a ton of hats. Okay, so you definitely want to come out here to Caneswear at 2511 South University Drive in Davie. John Santos is in. Tremolio is in. He says, I'm jealous. Giannis didn't get his title with Heat. Let's see. Don Parlamento, GP Trap, Josh. Let's see. Who else? Pete. Oh, Pat in Nashville. Anybody else getting a Pixie Land? Oh, sorry. I know. It's kind of tough. Guillermo's in. Don Parlamento. Danny says, Giannis just playing was amazing. You have to give him props for that. I agree. Daniel Marquez says, Big O, I work from home. I want to go see you, but the wife told me I have to work. Well, you know, Daniel, you know how it goes, bro. Happy wife, happy life. So do what she says. And you'll be all right. I certainly don't want to be in the middle of your relationship, bro. Okay? So, you know, we're going to be at Sports Grill for every single game, pre and post. Hialeah or Miami Lakes. You can go there. We're preparing a couple of other places. Hopefully everything works out. We'll have a couple of other places that we'll have appearances at. So we appreciate all of you out there. Josh says, I love Monty Williams so much. Grateful he's the leader of my sons. Also, we have two Suns fans. So we have Lisa and Josh. All right, Josh, you good hands, man, with James Jones and Monty. Let's see. Danny, Big O. I think Ira last year said a person the Heat should go after was Drew Holiday. Now look at what happened. He wins a title. Danny, Miami did not have 3 first-rounders. Danny, Miami could not also switch out 3 other first-rounders or 2 other first-rounders. I mean, what Milwaukee gave up, that's the part you can't leave out of the equation. This is why Miami has no juice right now. They have no picks. They have no ammo. And some of the players that were sexy last year after the run are no longer as sexy, and they're not as tradable as they were before. So what they were going to give you for Tyler Hero last year, they're not giving it to you now. So they didn't have enough players. They didn't have enough picks for Drew Holiday or anybody else. That's why Miami is not going to do anything. And they're not going to be able to get anything this year either unless it's some kind of a disgruntled star that they can sign straight up in free agency after they cut a bunch of guys in salary. Let's see. I'm heartbroken with last night's game. The Suns was one of my best friends' team. I lost them in December. I was rooting for the Suns. R.I.P. Victor. Feel for you, John. And obviously condolences for you, my man. I know it ain't easy losing a close friend. We've all done it, and it's you practically never recover from it. Ernie is in. Ernie and Doral. He wants to make sure I say Ernie and Doral. Let's see. Devin says, what up, Big O? Happy hump day. Hopefully the Miami Heat sign Kyle Lowry. Now let's bring on another mid-30s guy. Pat in Nashville says, why not compromise with X? Play this year, 3rd year of the 5-year deal. No, this is only the 2nd year. They gave him the money on the last year of his rookie deal, so it was an extension. Last year was the 1st year of the extension. So this is actually the 2nd year of the deal. Okay? But he says, why not compromise with X? Play this year, 3rd year of the 5-year deal, and then we'll extend you next season. Pat, this is what I think is going to happen. I think they fear all the knee surgeries. I think they fear that there's always some kind of a complaint from this guy. I think they fear that there's always baggage from this guy. And as I mentioned on the show with Omar's segment, the cap hit next year is not nearly as bad. In fact, it's minimal compared to what it is this year. They're not going to trade him this year. They're going to tell him, shut up and play, and we're not giving you any money right now. We'll talk down the line. That's the BS they'll feed him. Yeah, we'll talk down the line. And then at the end of the year, They will then trade his ass somewhere before the draft for a bunch of picks. That's what's going to end up happening. That way, they'll have 2 years of productive service under the belt, 2 great years of play if he plays great again this year, and 2 years removed from domestic issues. And if he doesn't have another knee scope, 2 years from a knee scope. So now, all of a sudden, value is at the peak. You can go out and get the max for him. This year, you're going to play for the Dolphins and play your best because it behooves you to play your best if you want more money, because you're not going to be able to get traded and get more money if you become a petulant child this year. So if you do that, you're going to hurt yourself from future earnings down the line. As I've said before, this was a contract. You know what? I forgot to look it up, but this was a contract that people questioned because of the knee surgeries. And I got to go find all those articles because several people wrote, wow, it's kind of dangerous giving him this contract and all this and that. So, it's not that simple. You can't rework a deal after 1 year. You just can't. You're gonna get. It's like throwing these big juicy steaks at those Dobermans in a 007 scene, right? Where the guy that leads Spectre, right? Isn't he the guy that throws the steaks at the Dobermans and they're like, chomping it up? It's like that. That's what you're doing. Every agent is a Doberman. And whoa, all right. Okay, the Dolphins can get suckered into reworking. We're talking about Chris Grier, who has been a hard-line trader so far, okay, and has been a shrewd dude. Like, okay, Kyle Van Noy, we got cap issues. We got lost money and we got lost cap space. We can't keep him. We got to move him on. We got to go. They don't care, bro. Flowers, oh, no, we move him. That's it. Oh, this coach don't work? Out. This coach don't work? Out. They don't waste any time, dude. These guys are ruthless. And guess what? I love it. That's the way you got to run your football team. All right? Because you're going to have players do what they want to do. Right? And you just can't allow them to control what's going on. Oh, no, I deserve more money. You've got to give me more money. No, dude. I'm sorry. That doesn't work that way. So I like what they're doing. And right now, I think the right thing to do, play it out. Play it out and you trade them in the offseason. And that's it. Unless, like our buddy yesterday, Larry Holder said from The Athletic, and he covers the Saints for The Athletic. He said the Saints could go off the beaten path there and offer them a deal that they can't refuse before the season starts. Now, if that happens, then I think you're Miami. You have to consider the cap hit and you have to consider the compensation. You know what I'm saying? If New Orleans wants to get crazy, like Larry said. But if not, you wait till next year and let the bidding take over. And somebody will trade for him. You know why? Because there's going to be a couple teams that are going to say, we're close. We had that guy, and that changes our entire defense. And I know what some of you are saying. Well, if they're saying that, how come we're not saying that? Well, they are, but they paid him, and now he's unhappy with that. He's unhappy after they made him the highest paid player at that moment in that position. And technicality, whether he was number one or number two by a couple 100,000 or 500,000 or a million, please give me a break. Okay, they gave him a very rich contract at that time, but every contract becomes outdated. Okay, the 33 million that Cousins gets is now overshadowed by the 45 or 50 that Mahomes is getting. That's just the way it goes. And Cousins set the standard, and he was getting paid more money than all the other quarterbacks in this league. And guess what? He's not better than a lot of those guys that he was getting paid more. He's getting paid more than Tom Brady and more than Drew Brees. You tell me that he's better than those guys? Not the Brees from last year, but you know what I'm saying. It just, you got to handle this the right way. And unfortunately, there are rough patches along the way, and this is one of them. You overcame Minka, you overcame Tunsil, you'll overcome this, man. If it was the quarterback, then we'd be talking a completely different scenario. Okay? If it's Aaron Rodgers, I don't know, you got to find a way to fix that one. I don't know if Green Bay will, but that I can understand. But any other position, You could find another, man. You could find another. You can't find another quarterback. Reach out to us on YouTube, on the chat board. Email Big O Radio Show, Twitter at Big O Show. And remember, Cash App and Venmo, another way to support us. Cash Big O Show. Brett is in the house. Give him a mic. You got a mic there? You got a mic there. Let's hear from Brett here a second. I remember, Brett, somebody was asking me, do we have the 305U hat? Because they saw a UM player with the 305U hat. Because I know you have the 305 from. All right, so Brett may have them at the end of the month because they got a ton of hats coming, so they don't have the 305U hat. I know they have a 305 hat, but it's the one in Marlins colors, right? Oh, black and okay. Oh, so you have kind of a U, but it doesn't have a U. Oh, okay. Bring it out. Bring it out. He has a 305 Canes, but it's not. It's a U Canes, but it doesn't have a U in it. And I don't know if I think you said there was a U inside of it. I'm not sure, but if you did, because I know I have a 305 Marlins, because when I did a show out at the what is it, Family Fest or whatever the hell that thing is called, Marlins Fest. I went into their store and I loved that hat and I bought it. Oh, okay, I see. That's okay. So here's a 305 and there's the U. So this is actually really cool. I like this one. So this is fresh. Ooh, memory fit too. Ooh, this is special. Oh, this is nice. It's got like the memory fit inside, so absorbs the sweat, keeps it comfortable. It's not choking your head. I like it. All right, we'll get Brett on and we'll talk a little bit about Caneswear here, and we'll give you a little info on the Canes. By the way, the women's team in the U.S. ended up losing to Sweden already in the Olympics. I love how they show you the frozen still pictures, of the game, because they don't have rights to the video. But I don't even know if I'm going to watch it. But damn, Sweden kicked our girls' asses. They're not out yet, but their 44 match streak is unfortunately over now. So sadly, the girls, they can still move on and win. So hopefully this will be a nice little wake-up call for them when it's all said and done. Remember, we're out here at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, baby. It is Caneswear. We'll be out here once a month. In hour number 2, Manny Navarro is going to join us live from the ACC kickoff with our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report. So we'll have some fun with Manny in the next hour. So, Brett, it's amazing how it works out, right? Because we're here on Wednesday, and Manny normally shows up on Tuesdays and Fridays on the show for the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report, but he couldn't because he was traveling yesterday. So we pushed it back to today, and guess where we're at today? Yeah, how about that? Perfect. Put the mic a little closer to you.
All right, that's perfect.
Yeah, so he's going to join us in hour number 2 from the ACC kickoff. So we're looking forward to it. So tell Canes fans the merch that's coming, because I was talking with Jeff before, and he was talking about a bunch of merch you guys are waiting for.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, great to have you back, Orlando.
Thank you, sir.
This is, it's always an exciting time when you're back in the house here at Canes.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate you, all you've done, and everywhere you go, we're with you. And I know the South Florida fans are definitely with you as well.
Well, and they're with us more than ever now, man.
Awesome.
We're like this week we're over 150,000 downloads.
Wow, that's fantastic. Outstanding.
We are pacing for over 500,000 downloads a month.
On our way to 7 figures.
Yeah, we're pacing for 6 million a year now.
Wow.
We did 2 during the pandemic.
That's awesome.
We did 2.1 million during the pandemic, and now it's tripled to, we're pacing to 6 million now.
A great job.
So thank you. Thank you all
That's
out there.
It's all about the people. It's all about you.
Yes, it's all about them, not me.
Exactly.
And you, of course.
Thank you.
You and you. You and you. Yeah.
And the you in between.
And the you. It's all about the you.
So the good news is we got a lot coming on. We're today? 45 days till
about
45 days, I think, and counting. Or who's counting to the opening day when UM will go ahead and shock the world against Alabama. But we won't go there yet. I think Thinking not too many national odds makers feel that good. I think we're at 18 and climbing on this.
Apparently,
spread.
their quarterback's really good. They loaded up again on corners. They loaded up. They got another running back. It just they're at a point where they're reloading, man.
Saban just flies the helicopter and everybody comes to it. It's like a glue. They just stick to him. We're magnetic. But here at Canes, we're really, really excited this year. This is like we're expecting an exceptional year. We're excited for the team, the schedule, and everything like that. Lots of new stuff coming in. We've got we're supposed to pick up the Dime Life Zubaz collection, right, Jeff?
Whoa!
Dime Life Zubaz collection. We should have it at any moment, later today or tomorrow. Hopefully, it'll be in stock. We haven't put it on pre-order yet because we just wanted to make sure when it's here and get the excitement and energy going. So we've got that going. We're getting Adidas new shirts in every day. We probably got about 20 new creator and teacher, maybe 30 or 40 new. We're just getting the polos today or tomorrow. We've got all the sideline apparel. The new jerseys will be here. Lots of exciting things with Adidas. Got things coming from men, women, kids. So we got the Canes covered. Got lots of Dolphins items coming in, which we're really pumped about.
Dolphins season 2, baby.
I think Coach Flores has us going in the right direction.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
You gotta love them. I know it's been a love affair or on and off.
I'm all in with these guys. No, I've been all in with them. I mean, I said to fire Tannenbaum and Gase and go hire Greer, so I can never complain about what's going on right here because that was my call from the get-go. I'm super happy about that. Listen, even with the Canes, you got 19 of 22 starters coming back. This is the year for Manny, dude. This is the year. He's got to turn the corner. This is the year. Look, you got a pass for me already on game one. You're not better than Alabama, but from there on out, I need to see a hell of a season. I need to see a hell of a season.
Whatever happens in that game, if we play close, if it's close, and then they take the lead late, and stretch the lead. Either way, it's all about the follow-up in the games that come. Those next 4 or 5 home games that we've got right here, we've got to come down and win all those games.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got to win them. So just can't have one slip up and then all of a sudden then the season goes. And we've been good at that, but sometimes we get on a losing streak and, lose a close one, and then, it's hard to get our footing again.
I mean, I think you're good enough to win all your games except the North Carolina one. That's the one that will be the real,
we still should be good there because they lost their running backs, they lost the receivers, they've got the quarterback coming back.
That's the problem.
Well, that's the problem, true. But, I agree. I agree on that. But the thing about this team,
dude's an NFL player, bro. That guy is.
He is probably going to be the top draft pick in the.
It's either him or the small school kid. There's another small school kid that's coming out of. Damn it, I forgot the guy's name now. But yeah, there's another guy that's like supposedly a freak. And we'll see how the whole season develops because
you never
somebody
know.
Else comes
it's
out
early,
of the blue.
Up. But on the Canes, the great thing I'm hearing from all the players and all the coaches that we see and talk to is this offensive line is supposedly unbelievable. The most depth we've had since the early 2000s, which is awesome. But, we have not had that depth. One guy goes down and, guys are out of position. We're in trouble. Everybody's coming back on the O-line. The running backs are so deep this year. We got 5 deep. I don't know who's going to play the most. The receivers are deep. Obviously, King, I think he'll be fine. If not, I think we've got a couple of very capable backups, but I think King's going to do excellent. The tight end with Mallory coming back. We got Hodges. I
think Mallory, now that he has the stage by himself, is going to have a monster year now. Instead of him sharing it all the time and sharing the spotlight with the other kid who's incredibly talented, unfortunately was very injury prone. I think I really like Mallory now to kind of be the guy now. And
I like Mallory too, but one thing I noticed last year, they'd hit Mallory early, 2 or 3 passes on the first drive, and then the rest of the game is like, where's Mallory? I don't know if that was the game plan or what, but I've noticed teams we played, I don't know if it's the Dolphins or the Canes, it seems like when something's working, we don't go back to it. I don't know. Other teams will just nickel and dime the same exact play 20 times on us till we figure it out. It seems like the local teams, we got something working. Okay, great, that worked. Let's go to something else.
Yeah. No, you're right. Unless you're Inter Miami and nothing works.
This is true. Well, we're hoping soon that turns around.
Yeah, that's the decisions they made in year one, dude.
It's been tough. Last year, it wasn't last year that they were off. They started slow, obviously. Then they had some games. Then they start again slow, and then they kicked it into gear before the playoffs. Is there any chance that's going to happen?
No, I don't think so right now.
Tell us like it is.
I'd love to tell you that I think they're going to put it together, but I think the team was so poorly constructed. There's no help in the midfield. That's why Higuain is not the guy that's going to grab the ball and then break down 3-4 guys and score at this point in his career. He's not going to do that. So he needs a midfielder to set him up. They don't have it. They have to play from the outsides. That's the one thing that I give the coach credit last year. He understood he had no midfield because Pizarro holds on to the ball too long, doesn't make quick decisions. And so they stayed with Lewis Morgan on the outside. And this coach has not used Lewis Morgan enough when that's your strength right now is going from outside in. You're not going to attack up the middle of the field with that team because you just don't have the midfielders. And then their defense is suspect. And we'll find out if this new goaltender actually can get it done. But I think they're actually screwed this year and next year. I think it's 2 years from now when they can start to unload these players because Pizarro is going to be very tough to unload unless they're willing to just cut them outright and take the cap hit. Not cap hit, just swallow the money and go buy another DP.
No, I understand all that, I think. Jeff, you catch all that on soccer?
Well, and you know what's you know what the other thing that hurts you? They got a DP in Matuidi who's a defensive midfielder. You only get 3 DPs. Let me tell you something. If I'm getting 3 DPs, it's 3 guys that score goals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting a defender for a DP. Unless I drafted young and Robbie Robinson was a star and Orlando found Daryl Dike in the draft 2 years ago. They picked him at number 5. We had the first and the third picks. We took 2 guys that we didn't take the star. And so that's where you set your team back again. So if Robbie doesn't become a star, that sets you back. If you're going to buy a DP in this league, he better be a forward or he better be an offensive-minded midfielder that can score and set people up. If not, I'm not buying DPs that are defensive midfielders, defenders, or even a goalie. I can draft all that. I can trade for that. I can figure it all out. But if I'm buying, something, I'm buying scoring.
No, I understand that.
Crazy.
So you spoke Robbie Robinson. It seemed like I know it seemed like he was really playing really well, moving the ball, getting open, his speed. So he was supposed to come back last game, but obviously we were
postponed.
So he's coming back. I mean, what kind of difference can he make if he's
huge?
On?
Huge.
He was active, moving the ball.
He's the only guy that can break people down and score.
And he's up from the outside in. He takes it from the corner and he goes in, and he's so fast. So, I mean, he's only played 1 year professional, and he was injured a lot of last year.
Yeah.
This
last
year
was
looking
a waste.
good, and then he got injured. Yeah. And then he tried to, even when he came back when he was injured with the hammy, he came back and he looked exciting for those 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's the only one that has some athleticism on the edges. So he comes
back. Can he make that big of a difference?
Yes, he can. He can help, and he can help Higuain too, because people will worry about him now. Because if you know the kid, he's talented enough that he'll break you down, so he'll get to the next level and the next level. So the defense has to be very aware of where he's at, and he's actually a decent passer. So if the kid can actually get and stay healthy, that's the other thing they screwed up in. They mishandled his injury, and they brought him back too soon. And all of us know that everybody knows hamstring injuries are ones that you have to be patient with, because if you hurry that thing up, it'll last all year for you. And sometimes it'll be a permanent thing into the following season. It'll linger that badly. That's how much hamstrings are. But yes, he can help out in a big time way.
Yeah, because I was excited about
And you've got all kinds
back.
of great stuff there.
We're loaded with Inter Miami stuff. So let's just get on a winning streak so we can, everybody wants great colors. That's the great thing. What they did is the pink.
Oh, their
and the
marketing
black.
is awesome.
So we got excited.
And they'll be fine, dude. They'll figure it out. Stephen Ross made a bunch of mistakes until he's figured it out. Viola and Sifu kept Talon around way too long, and then they figured it out, and they brought in Zito, and Zito did a magnificent job of turning it around and create. So, listen, new owners are like new business owners. They don't know the business. True. They got to grow into it. And unfortunately, there are growing pains, like I'm sure you had years ago when you started Canes, where every business owner, I don't care what it is, sports or life, you are going to have your struggles and you're going to learn. Jorge Mas is learning the business right now, and he's making his mistakes. He'll figure it out. He wants to win, just like Stephen Ross, just like Viola and Sifu. They're all great owners. They'll figure it out, man.
Well, yeah.
Not everybody can be Mickey, where your first decision is the only decision you ever had to do. Pat Riley, and it's over. I mean, it's nice to hit it out of the ballpark on the first pitch. But more often than not, you strike out several times before you can actually take it out of the park.
Robbie did it also with Don Shula.
Right. At first he had George Wilson.
Yes, but
and then he made the move for for Shula, and then it was
we
over.
had Cunningham and Chaffel with the Heat first.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't Mickey the owner.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
That was the difference.
Yes, they were the owners.
When Mickey took over, the first move he made was Riley.
Good point. Good point.
I was at that press conference on one of his ships, which I always tell the Heat every time I see them, can we go back to press conferences on ships? Let's go, dude. Come on. If it's catered, it's covered. Let's go. I was eating lobster. I was eating crab. I've never been to a press conference like that in my life. You want to go to that kind of press conference, Sean?
We're ready. Let's
see
go.
What I'm saying?
We're going.
So,
all right. So the bottom line, we're excited about this season. It's awesome. We got Canes, the Dolphins. We're really pumped right now about the season coming forward. Watched that NBA Finals last night. Giannis. Love to see a small town team win it. A guy stays home. Doesn't have to go to a big market. Awesome last night.
I love it.
Phenomenal. So it's maybe listen, just about the Heat real quick. Everybody down in the Heat. Milwaukee planned for that series all year. They got their game, their series against the Heat. They beat us, and they just showed that there was, to win. Granted, they took advantage of some injuries, but their big player was injured also for a little bit.
And part of being a champion is the battle of attrition. So if you can't stay healthy and you can't make it all the way to the end, then you don't deserve to win.
Absolutely. Injuries count.
That's just the way it is, man. It's just the way it is. Visit them at caneswear.com. Check it out on Twitter at Canes_wear. Remember, all orders $99 and over, you will get free shipping. And later on this month, you will see all the new Canes gear. So come on out and check it out. Dolphins, Marlins, Panthers, Heat, and of course, all the Canes gear you can handle, baby. And Inter Miami out here at Caneswear. Brett, you're the best.
Thank you, Orlando.
Thank you, my brother. All right, Sean, let's take a quick break here. We're going to take a short break. Let's get ready for Manny Navarro. He is about to call us, and he's about to check in from the ACC kickoff. Give me 2 minutes here so I can recover a little bit. And we'll be 3 minutes, and we'll be right back right here on the Big O Radio Show live from Caneswear in Davie. For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
This is the Big O Show.
There's many ways to support our program, from subscribing and liking the show to visiting our terrific sponsors. Another way is using Cash App. If you would like to donate to the show and help us grow, download Cash App and search Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. We appreciate your support as we continue to build the best sports show on the planet for South Florida sports fans. Support the Big O Show by using Cash App and donate to Cash Big O Show. Thank you for your incredibly loyal support.
This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
This is the Big O
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zins Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zins Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Oh, welcome back, baby. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Caneswear, 2511 South University Drive in Davie. We promised you that Manny Navarro would be joining us from the ACC kickoff. Let's bring him aboard. Follow him on Twitter and Manny_Navarro. Manny, how you doing, my brother?
Hanging in there, brother. Busy morning here at ACC.
There we go.
Kickoff. Can you hear me all right?
Oh yeah. So what happened? What's the main news coming out right now?
Well, I mean, obviously.
Whoa, lost you there. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm not. Oh, there we go. Go ahead, Manny. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Say it again.
Can't hear you. Hold on.
Okay. You hear me now? I hear you. I'm now hearing you.
Try to flip this around.
Let's see.
You there, O?
I'm here. I'm here, baby. You got me? Hey, Manny's upside down. Now he's right side up. There he is.
Can't hear you.
He's not hearing. Let's see. Have him reconnect. Okay. Let's see. Let's do
Can't
that.
hear you, O. Hold on.
Reconnect.
I'm not sure what's wrong.
Let's see. Dump him and then reconnect. All right, so we'll get Manny with our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report. By the way, they've got the coaches Columbia shirts, which are pretty cool, man. You know, so you get cool down, and you get ventilation, which is a beautiful thing, man. How about that? Well-made shirt. Got a nice zipper and everything with it. Sleek. Check it out. So they got a ton of items here from the Canes, of course, because it is Caneswear. Oh, FedEx is there too, so it looks like they're bringing some more goodies. All right, I think we've got Manny now. Let's see. Manny, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
All right, it's a beautiful thing. All right, so
Yeah.
What's the big news coming out early on in the ACC kickoff, my friend?
Well, obviously, COVID is a big deal again with the Delta variant spreading quickly and across the country. And so everybody's asking the questions as far as how things might be affected this season, where the ACC stands with cancellations and, requirements for players, et cetera. I can tell you that Commissioner Jim Phillips said this morning that there are more than half the teams are 85% vaccinated already, in terms of ACC teams. Miami is not one of them. Manny Diaz just finished talking to us a little bit. We're going to get him again here in a few minutes privately, but in the group interviews, he talked about how they're trying to get to the 85%. I talked to Mike Harley. He just finished getting his first shot a month ago. And, for some of these kids, Big O, there was fear about just taking the vaccination, believe it or not. Guys that are still sort of...
Oh, the enlarged heart thing. The enlarged heart thing. You're an athlete. Yeah, I get it.
Right. So I think some of these guys were a little worried about getting vaccinated, but a lot of them now are. And the expectation for Miami is that by the time the season starts, they'll have more than 85% of the team vaccinated, which, at that point, they feel like they'll be able to get through the season without a problem.
Listen, man, it's us getting through the days without a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you're vaccinated, you catch it, at least you get some symptoms, but you can get through it quickly. and you're done. You don't end up hospitalized or dying. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I'm with Michael Irving. I don't know if you heard his comments about the Cowboys. Like, if you really want to win a championship, you got to get vaccinated. It's
Right.
kind of like us, Manny. If you really want to get back to normal life, get your ass vaccinated, bro.
Right.
Because it's kind of it's not just to compete on a field, it's competing for life, man. Because if not, then we've got to be running and hiding all over the place and wearing a mask. And it looks like we're headed back to wearing masks pretty soon because we have so many people that are still unvaccinated with all of this. Now, how much of this is a problem for the entire league? When you talk about the ACC, what are you hearing since you're there and you heard where Miami stands? How do other teams, how do they address that?
Well, right now there's 7 teams in the ACC, including Notre Dame, even though they don't play football in there, but they are part of the league in other sports. There's 7 schools, rather, that require every student who's on campus to be vaccinated. If you look at my Twitter account, I retweeted one of the reporters up here, David Teal, the old-time guys who was able to confirm the 7 schools. I know Miami is not one of those schools. There's Florida schools with Ron DeSantis and everything, making the laws there in the state. It's not a requirement to be vaccinated to be a college student on campus, but in other ACC schools it is. And I just spoke with Jen Strawley, one of the assistant athletic directors here at Miami, and she told me that the way Florida law is, they don't ever expect that Miami will get to the point where they'll have to require students to be vaccinated on campus, but they are pushing it, and they are really trying their best to get everybody at Miami vaccinated. And I think little by little, talking to players, talking to people on the team, more guys are buying it. I think having D'Eriq King kind of be a spokesman for it, being the leader in the locker room, I think it's going to make a difference.
So let me ask you, did anybody call Coach Manny? Because, we all know that Dion doesn't like to be called Dion. And, Saban's, you can actually call Coach Saban Nick, and he's all right with it. So did anybody call Coach Diaz Manny, and did Manny get pissed for being called Manny?
He did not. Luckily, Coach Diaz did not get pissed. We call each other Manny, by the way, whenever we see each other. I saw him last night at the bar. He said, "Hi, Manny." I said, "Hi, Manny." So, we don't have any of those issues around here, dude.
Okay. All right. No, I just want to make sure because, Dion gets a little touchy. But then again, it never helps when you're recruiting guys that are involved in domestic issues. Yeah, that would actually help out. All right. So the NILs, has that been a topic so far with the NILs and the gray areas that it seems to have with it?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting topic. Mike Harley told me he's up to between 7 and 8 deals now himself. I didn't ask D'Eriq King what number he's up to. We're going to get a chance to talk to them here shortly, one-on-one, the Miami beat writers who cover the team all the time. And I'm hoping to get that information. In fact, I got 5-minute warning before these guys. I just got a text message as we're talking. Cam Gorby from UM saying, we got 5 minutes. We're going to meet with you guys. But anyway, no, I think it's going to certainly be a topic of discussion. I think the most important thing for Manny Diaz and Miami is concerned is, as a head coach, he's all for it. Obviously we know some other coaches who have made some comments in the past. Dabo Sweeney, for example, that he didn't want to see guys making more money, making college money that would ruin the sport, etc. He said that in the past. I think Manny Diaz has always been pro player. He's always been about those guys getting what they deserve. And so I think as far as Miami's concerned and NIL, they're all for it. The question, and I had a long conversation with somebody last night about this from Miami, is, when do guys get into the gray area? I got an email from one of these porn companies yesterday, telling me that they want to be involved with college athletes. What happens when the porn industry starts to sponsor these guys? Where does that sort of fall on the moral compass meter, right, with universities? So we'll see. I think right now it's still very early, but as far as Miami's position and the NIL in general, I think right now all the school administrators and people involved are saying the right things. They want these kids to make money, but we'll see what happens when things start falling in the gray areas.
Hey, listen, all we have to do is call back the 7th Floor Crew. They can get sponsored by the porn company, okay? No, that won't be a problem. By the way, I know you got to go. D'Eriq King quickly. Well, told you guys that he's been focusing more on making plays downfield, and there were a lot of times last year where he was very inaccurate downfield. But then towards the second half, he started hitting on some. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, he talked about that while he was on stage, talking to the kind of entire press corps. And the sense I got is, he's really focused on improving his deep ball connections. I think Charleston Rambo was brought in for that reason, the transfer from Oklahoma. But I think in general, I mean, he wants to focus on making this offense elite. And they were very, very good last year at times. But to be elite, you cut down on the negative plays and you hit on the big plays. And that's really what Lashley's been talking about since the end of last season. And I think D'Eriq King, we'll see him probably take even more chances downfield this coming season with Charleston Rambo than he did last year.
I love it. All right, I know you got to go. Appreciate it. We'll catch up later. All right, you be good.
Absolutely. I'll see you.
You got it. Right. That's our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report, an abbreviated version of it, live from ACC kickoff. I'd love to keep him here longer, but obviously he's in the middle of doing his job. The fact that he called us is actually pretty cool that we were able to get him on. And I appreciate those of you hanging in there with us. I know that the connection hasn't been as clear. I just spoke to Brett, and we're going to fix that for the next month, and we'll get that done so that way the video quality will be perfect like what we do in studio every single day. I appreciate all of you out there and your patience, man. A lot of things to still talk about here on the show. By the way, tonight, Inter Miami, 7:30 at the stadium. So we'll see if Drive Pink Stadium, the boys can get a win. They are taking on the number one team in the conference, the New England Revolution. The New England Revolution have 27 points. Miami has 8. Wow. Now, Inter has 3 games in hand, and I think that's why they were so desperate in wanting to play that postponed game on Saturday night, because this puts more pressure on them to have to make up games in a shorter amount of time than everybody else. So you end up playing more games in a shorter amount of time than everybody else. And right now, I believe they have played 11 games, and I think it's 14 for the Revolution. I think that's the difference going into tonight. Now, again, that doesn't make a damn bit of difference. New England Revolution are just a much better team right now than Inter Miami. We're going to need to see a team tonight that doesn't even resemble the team we have seen all season. That's how good they need to be today. They need to play a perfect game. And let me tell you, a slight blessing is that you actually gave Robbie a couple more days off. I got to tell you, it's a slight blessing because he was able to go kind of warm up for that match, but he didn't really go all out. So that's another way of kind of another level of getting prepared for the game. And, because I was, at that time I was working with them, so I couldn't say it on the air. What I can say now, I can give my sports opinion because that's what I do for a living. And, back then I didn't say it publicly because I was working for them, but I'll say it now. They mishandled his injury by a mile. Okay, they can make all the excuses they want. They brought him back way too soon because they're desperate. And Phil Neville is now starting to look a little desperate because it's not his fault. It's because nothing is working. And that's rough for a coach, man. Doesn't matter what formation you try, it doesn't work. Doesn't matter what combinations you try, it doesn't work. That's frustrating. So tonight they need to see Marshman be absolutely outstanding. They need to see that defense play better than it ever has played all year long. They've got to play together. There can't be any more gaps in between the offense and the defense at times. They have to be able to be gelling. And I don't know if they can do it, but if they don't, they're not going to win tonight against the New England Revolution. So good luck to the boys. I definitely will be watching. I didn't check here for my man Jay if he's going over to Dangerous Minds, because it's always a great place to see it. I do miss that place, by the way. I do miss Dangerous Minds. The beer, so good. I love those. What is it? The pizza crust thing? What's that thing that I get all the time? What's it called? Do you know what it's called? Because you and me are into food. You know?
Yeah, but I was
slightly.
I was eating the artisan pizzas.
Yeah, I know you were eating the pizzas all the time. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and they're so good.
Oh, they are so good.
God, they're so good. So, yeah, they do a good job over there at Dangerous Minds. They don't have to be a sponsor of ours to give them, love. We love
the
folks.
beers are great as well.
Oh, the beers are phenomenal, dude. Absolutely phenomenal, man. Crazy stuff. GP Trap says, I sent you the picture on Twitter of the U305 hat. Oh, okay. All right, you know what? I'll show it to Brett, and maybe he'll get it in. How about that? So I'll do that. I'll show the picture. Thank you. I appreciate you, GP Trap. Big O, what are your thoughts on Nick Saban's comments about the Dolphins? All right. So look, man, it's like clubbing seals at this point. Remember how I tell some of you Dolph fans, let go of the past, right? We've done this a couple times where I've told you, let go of the past. Stop worrying about what used to happen. That's not this team anymore. You know what? Let it go already, dude. Nick Saban's not here. He left us. He made the mistake of Breeze, or the doctors did, or whatever it was, dude. I mean, there's always some new story that comes out of all of this. Look, in the end, you only tried it for 2 years and you punked out, bro. You weren't built for the pros. You can't handle men. You want to have total control. So to me, it doesn't matter. Nick Saban would have to even prove to me that he can be a professional coach. I know he has the smarts to be a professional coach, but I don't know if he can handle the personalities, or does he? Now, it seems like he's a little bit different than he was when he was here. He's not such the arrogant asshole that he used to be. I'm sure he's still an arrogant asshole behind the scenes, but publicly, it seems like he's trying a little bit more to be more cordial with people in the media and those kind of things. So maybe he can handle a little bit more with players. I don't know, but he would have to prove it to me. So in the end, whether you had Breeze or not, I don't give a crap, dude. I don't give a crap. You quit after 2 years. Put it this way, Devin. Do I quit this? And I've had my share of it, right? Got fired from 560, right? I go to 1210. It's an absolute disaster, right? Then I do this, and then I do my podcast, which actually went really, really well. And so then I tried the craziness of trying to put a station together. And again, I working with stuff that really wasn't going to work, unfortunately. So that didn't work. So, you know what's really easy for me to do? Go get a regular job. Go get a normal job and not do this ever again. But I'm not quitting, bro. That's not who I am. That's not who I've ever been. This guy knows, because now he's been around me for a couple of these things. So he knows. He's been around it all because he knows I'm not the damn problem. If I was the problem, there's no way he'd be here doing this. You know what I mean? So it's, life sometimes screws you over. And what are you going to do? You're going to quit? Did Giannis quit? You'll never make it. You fell short. You can't shoot. Now I'm going to re-sign. I'm going to sign an extension, and I'm going to win a title here. And he did it. It's about not quitting. And Nick Saban quit here on the Dolphins. That's the bottom. That's what stands out to me. The rest of the periphery, what quarterback, this quarterback, none of that means anything to me. Nick Saban quit. He did it for only 2 years, and he quit. Just like Jimmy Johnson stuck his tail between his ass and walked right out the door after getting his ass handed to him 62-7. Right? Because after all the bravado and we're going to make it special and all of that, you know what happened to Jimmy? He had a cap. He didn't have a cap in Dallas. So he was able to keep everybody because he had an owner that would pay and a league that had no limits. Now the league had limits. Now there were different rules in place. And you couldn't overcome it. And Nick Saban and Jimmy Johnson, for me, quit on the Miami Dolphins. That's the way I look at it. It got tough, and they folded. That's it. I don't see that from Flo. I don't see a guy that gives up. Hey, I'll give Dave Wanstead a ton of credit on that at least. We criticized him. He came up short. That some bitch never quit. He always had a positive attitude. He always tried to work through it. Philosophically, I may have disagreed with him on the way he handled things and the way he ran his team. That's fine. But I can never judge Dave Wanstead's character. I will judge Nick Saban and I will judge Jimmy Johnson as freaking quitters of the Miami Dolphins. Okay? That's what they are. So in the end, I don't care about the stories. I just care that you didn't have the balls and the character to fight through the adversity. And that's what comes in life. Adversity. Fight through it. You can't fight through it, then you fold like a cheap chair. And that's exactly what Nick Saban and Jimmy Johnson did. When Jimmy Johnson walked out of that press conference in Jacksonville, and I was there, and he just made a quick statement and walked out and took no questions, that guy lost everything with me. Every single thing. He destroyed the offense around Marino. He never was able to fix the offense. And then after an embarrassing loss, and he creates an environment that our quarterback for 17 years has to walk out as his last game. It's disgusting in my eyes. So Nick Saban and Jimmy Johnson are nothing but quitters when it comes to the Aqua and Orange. So I don't care about the rest of it. I don't care about those stories anymore. Don't want to talk about the quitters because that's what those dudes are. All right. YouTube, you got the comments. Send them in like my man Devin did. You can also email. Remember, if you're listening to the podcast, Big O Radio Show, Twitter, Big O Show, and of course, Cash App and Venmo. The other ways to actually reach out to us and support our show, which we love you for it. Thank you all out there. Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show is the address. Got Sean Stanley, by the way, by my side here. We are out here at Caneswear in Davie, 2511 South University Drive. Come on by. We'll be out here for a little while more, talking some sports. We'd love to meet with you. Nationals and Marlins. The Marlins lose again. They're 15 games under 500. I think we're headed for another 100-loss season. I really do, because you're going to trade away all the bats now that you have left. So you're not going to have any offense. You're going to play more young guys. Your arms are going to get tired as the summer rolls on and the heat and everything else. You're going to wear guys out. I mean, Trevor Rogers yesterday lasted 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 3 Ks. Duvall hit his 21st home run, but you're headed for 100 losses, man. It's sad. Tonight they continue. 7:05 first pitch. We'll see if the boys can pick up a victory, but it'll be tough. I got to admit. I'll have it on the small TV. I'll watch Inter Miami tonight. I'll give them the main view for today, because even though I don't really give any hope for either of these teams right now, to be honest with you. What else do we have that I wanted to talk about? Rachel Nichols. Let's get into a little Rachel Nichols. You know, Rachel hasn't had the best month, and it's been a rough one for her. A lot of it has been brought upon herself for her selfish ways, and she got exposed and got embarrassed. And listen, I don't know her from a hole in the wall, okay? She might be a really nice person. She might be a terrible person behind the scenes. Again, I don't know. I got to tell you this. I like what she does with the jump. I enjoy it. I have no problem with it. I like her passion for basketball. And obviously she has some incredible passion because she wants to own that job. You know what I'm saying? So she had that kind of, and it wasn't, I truly don't believe it had anything to do with race on her end. She used it as an excuse for the company, but I think it was more, she would have acted, she would have brought out the nails, as we say, for anyone that would have taken that job. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure watching, what's her name now? What's the name of the other girl that was working there? She had the blue dress on last night. What's her name now? Damn it. And I'm forgetting her name. I'm brain farting. Really cute girl. talented as hell, does a good job. Ah, damn it. Anyway, so she was out there. I'm sure she was hating watching that. You know what I mean? And now she was there at the game, and she was there asking questions. And this is a way where she can kind of, make her way back into, maybe, I wouldn't say good graces, because I don't think anybody in our business should be, or people publicly should be pissed at her, except for Maria Taylor, and maybe some of the people at ESPN should be incredibly pissed because she was trashing them. You know what I'm saying? But it's just one of those where Malika Andrews, thank you, Troy. Appreciate you for chiming in on that. You look at it, and this is her moment to kind of get back into the spotlight. And she is at the press conference, and here is CP3, and this is the question that Rachel Nichols is asking.
Hi, Rachel.
What does it feel like?
I feel like we just lost. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
What's it feel like? What's it feel like to lose? Is that the best question you can come up with? Like, I don't mean to pick on her, but I got to pick on her because she's a veteran. She's got to know better. That's the kind of question an idiot at the Super Bowl, pre-Super Bowl asks. And I'm talking about the idiots from entertainment and news that come in and they never cover sports and they don't know any of the storylines and they just come out there to say, Tom Brady, would you marry me? Those kind of morons. Those idiots that are out there for the Super Bowl pregame, those are the kind of people that I expect stupid questions from. Rachel Nichols? Come on, man. What's it like? What's it feel like? What do you think it feels like? What did it feel? You know what would have been best there if CP3 said, what did it feel like when Maria Taylor took your job? Right? That would have been a doozy right there. CP3 says, I don't know, I probably feel like you do when Maria Taylor took your job. Imagine if you ask Kevin Durant that's what Kevin Durant says. Because Kevin Durant doesn't give a crap. CP3's got some class. He's gonna restrain himself a little bit. Kevin Durant would have said, what do you mean what it feels like? What's it feel like to you watching Maria Taylor do your job? How is it that Malika Andrews is there and you're not? How's that feel, Rachel? I mean, seriously. Please describe the pain you're suffering right now for us. Does he really have to? We've all lost in life. We all know what losing is like. We all know what failure is like. I just come on, man. You had an opportunity. And now you end up becoming viral on a ridiculous question. And CP3 handled it with as much class as he possibly could. It's like the other day when we played that question from that guy that asked Booker, how frustrated are you for Chris? And Chris is sitting literally next to Booker. And if you watch Chris's face, like, the hell's this guy? Because that was just a wacky ass question. Just ask Chris, hey, how frustrated are you right now with your play? And then Chris will answer. You don't need to ask Booker in front of Chris. Not that Booker would have answered it without Chris or whatever. It's just an inappropriate question. Play it one more time for me there. This is a doozy.
Go ahead, Rachel.
What does it feel like?
I feel like we just lost. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Feels like an orgasm, Rachel. It feels like I just had sex with Halle Berry for the last 4 hours. I feel fantastic. How's he supposed to answer that? How's it feel? Talk to us. Tell us about losing. God. Troy goes, that would have been cold for him to say that to her. Yeah, but Kevin Durant would have said it to her. Am I when I was thinking about this, am I wrong? Am I wrong that Kevin Durant would have clapped back at her? The one player in the NBA that possibly would have clapped back at her with that line would have been who?
Yeah, if anybody does, it's KD.
Right? It's KD. That's it. I think most every other guy would have been kind of like CP3.
Maybe Draymond.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yes, Draymond Green. Yes. Yeah, I can see Draymond Green. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. What's it feel like? Wow. Come on, Rachel. Come on. You're better than that. You are better than that. You are having a bad month, man. Did you see the guy? You saw the Suns and 4 guy all over the place. Did you see the meme they made? They got the Suns and 4 guy, right? And then they put 4, and then they put straight losses. That was fantastic. So now the meme is like that's 4, and it says straight losses, and it's just great. Straight L's is what it says overall. But that's they created a meme so the Suns and 4 guy becomes popular.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I have the one with the 4 and he's punching himself
Yeah,
in the face.
yeah. I've seen that. You saw, and where's the dude counting the money, bro? Where's the guy? Where's counting the money? Demonet. That's from History of the World Part 1 for those of you that aren't old enough to pick up that reference. I made the point to Manny when we had him on, and so I'm gonna talk a little bit about it now. Deion Sanders. So Deion Sanders, as you all know, is coaching at Jackson State, and so their conference had where Manny's at, the ACC kickoff. Their conference had the same kind of kickoff where all the coaches go and the ADs and players, and they talk to their local media and all that, and hype up the season and everything. So apparently he got mad at somebody because they called him Deion. So he kind of avoided that reporter, and then it got worse after that. Then they went on to actually ban a reporter from covering their team. And so this is the story is they blocked a reporter. One of the reporters from covering Jackson State University allegedly prevented Rashad Milligan of Clarion Ledger from covering Jackson State at the SWAC Media Day. One day after Milligan published a story regarding a domestic violence charge against Quindarius Davis, a 4-star recruit from Dallas. Milligan reported that Davis was expected to plead guilty to an assault charge. Attorney Henry Campbell disputed the report of the anticipated guilty plea after the story was published. The story went live after multiple attempts to contact Campbell had been unsuccessful. A Clarion Ledger reporter was punished for simply doing his job. Clarion Ledger executive Marlon A. Walker said the decision to interfere with a working journalist not only is disappointing, but intolerable. It runs counter to the Clarion Ledger's unwavering mission to freely and fully inform readers throughout Mississippi. It is imperative to stand strong against any attempts to disrupt that effort. And I'm all for that, by the way. And I think that was a punk-ass move by Deion. I get it. Deion played in an era where it was probably incredibly dirty, what was going on in the recruiting and everything else. I get all of that. And I'm sure it's still dirty to this day. But you end up recruiting a guy. Okay, he's a 4-star player. Okay, and he might go to Jackson State now. So how are you getting a 4-star player to go to Jackson State? Oh, he's got a domestic violence charge. I got it now. So then USC doesn't want him, and Florida State doesn't want him, and Tennessee doesn't want him, and whatever, right? The big schools don't want him. I can't believe I said Tennessee is a big school, but they are in the SEC. Whatever. Anyway, so bottom line is you're going to now try to control what comes out. See, this is what's going on now where it's disturbing, right? Because you've got people that are trying to control the media, and this goes at all levels, right? I mean, you had one guy that was in office that was spying on people. You know what I'm saying? So this is getting to a point where it's ridiculous. where it's insulting, where it's disrespectful, and maybe even illegal, too. Depends on what situation we're talking about. But I mean, you should be mad at yourself. You're recruiting a guy involved in domestic violence issues. So if he's involved in it, you think it's not going to get out? And if you're able to keep it under wraps, it's a miracle. But more often than not, all of these legal type of issues are going to come out. And that reporter did his job and did it very well, and even actually contacted the lawyer, who the lawyer then did not want to call back. Because, it's the whole thing, I can't be reached for comment. And then all of a sudden, here you are, once the story's published, to come out and talk about it. Well, then, dude, why didn't you talk about it when we called you? You know what I mean? You know what they were calling about. That's the problem. And so Dion wants to block media from reporting the reality, and he doesn't want you to call him Dion anymore. And if he does, and if you do, he's pissed. Mark McMurphy is at the SEC Media Days, and he counted how many times they called Saban Nick. They called him Nick 9 times. Never got mad one time. He just answered the question. Nothing wrong with that. So if Dion's your name, or Nick is your name, or Manny, that's why I was joking with Manny Navarro in his interview about that. I said, hey, did anybody call him Manny? Because, and so he knows about the story because he follows social media, knows what's going on. I mean, this is just embarrassing for Deion Sanders, man. Don't recruit a player that's involved in domestic violence, my brother. And you won't have to worry about things like that. It's pretty simple. Stay away from scumbags. That's all. Yeah, that's all. Hey, man, I'm 54. Never had to hit a woman. No need. No need. And I had one in high school go Solange on me. And I say Solange because I was Jay-Z. Just held her arms, You hold the arms and then you move your body back and your legs back because the kicking is going out in the air. You know what I'm saying? She was a karate expert. Maybe she could have kicked me in the face, but she's trying to kick my legs and, knees, shins, whatever. And, you're just like holding the arms out and then backing away. You know what I'm saying? One of those high school things. That's high school, right? Didn't have to hit her. Because you're not supposed to. It's not necessary. Okay? So Dion, usually this happens. I'll get an email, a text from somebody. I guess you live a perfect world. No, I live a completely imperfect world, bro. I make mistakes all the time. I just, I'm not driving drunk off my ass, and I'm not hitting women and torturing kids and abusing animals and, or holding up a liquor store or carjacking something, or, I do the normal things. Oh God, I forgot this. Oh damn, Sean, I'm sorry, dude. I forgot to get you. I'll get it for you tomorrow. I do normal things. Oh, sorry, honey. I didn't take out the trash. I do the normal things. I screw up. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm late. Okay. I do normal things. I screw up. I screw up like everybody else screws up. But these are the screw ups those are the people you got to stay away from. I mean, if you talk about culture and changing your program and you want to be a winner and all that, but you're so desperate to win, you will actually go recruit a guy that has domestic violence issues. But he's a 4-star player. Yeah, see? That's the key point we leave out. It's worth it because he's 4-star. Right? Well, if it's worth it, then if it's worth it, then you got to handle the heat that comes with it, and be a big boy and answer the questions, and don't dodge it, and don't block a reporter. I mean, that to me, I found that to be absolutely insulting on Deion Sanders' part, and it's a joke. New York City Sports says, Big O, it was just reported that Maria Taylor left ESPN this morning. Contract expired. She now heads to NBC and will be part of the Olympic coverage. Nice. Good for her. Good for her, man. Good for her. She's not appreciated there. Get the hell out, man. Get the hell out. Get the hell out. Man, when I was at QAM, I knew for 11 months that I was getting fired. For 11 months, I knew that once my option was up, they weren't going to pick up the following year because, the guy that was there is clueless, and look what's happened to that place. But because I knew for so long, I had already the plans for my podcast and everything in place. If you've watched this show long enough, I've told this story before. And I was super happy when he fired me. I was like, thank you. I've been waiting for this for a while. I had the HR guy there, then he walks out and the HR guy's like, are you all right? And I said, yeah, man, I'm super happy because I've never seen anybody smile. And I go, well, that's because, I've got options, bro. I can go other places. I can do other things. I don't need this place. And we don't, So I'm glad for Maria Taylor. I'm sure you guys have worked at places that they don't appreciate you. You know what I mean? They didn't appreciate Curtis Stevenson. They didn't appreciate Alex Dono. I could just go on and on and on and talk about all the people that company didn't appreciate. Jade Alexander was gold. Terrific human being. Excellent person on air. Ratings, everything. Discard. Getting rid of people from KISS, whatever. It's a garbage business, bro. It's a terrible business. And ESPN has that reputation, unfortunately, for them, that she's not the only disgruntled employee there. There's tons. And good for her, man. She probably is making way more money now in NBC, and she's going to have a terrific platform. Good for her. She's going to work the Notre Dame broadcast, I think, not just the Olympics. I think they're going to include her in, forgot what other stuff they're going to put her. She's fantastic, man. I met Maria Taylor years ago over at the SEC Media Days, and I would have her on my show all the time. And she's fantastic, man. She was a talent then when I saw her at the SEC. And by the way, a dynamic person. Dynamic personality, bro. Like super freaking cool. I wish her the best, man. Dion said, put some respect on my name. I'm Coach Prime, damn it. Steve Chapman says, wow, when Nick Saban what Nick Saban looks like a nicer guy than what does that say about you? Wow, when Nick Saban looks like a nicer guy than you, what does that say about you? Yeah. Yep. You're right. Dion had some tremendous Jerry curls in the 80s. He did. The glasses, the curls, the bling. Although we didn't call it bling then. I forgot what we called it then. Did we just call it a big-ass chain? A necklace? I don't know what the hell. Because bling wasn't around in those days. I don't know what the hell we just called it a big-ass chain or something. I don't think we had a name for it. Like we do now, we have the slang name for it, bling. We didn't have a name for it. At least I don't remember.
I don't think we were cool like that back then.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, we weren't cool. No.
Big ass chain.
Yeah. Lisa, our resident Phoenix fan, one of two, by the way, because we have another one. I remember the euphoria I felt when the Dodgers won the World Series last year after 31 years. Happy for Bucks fans that they can feel that and celebrate. I'll do the same when the Finns win the Super Bowl. You know it, Lisa. You know it. We're going to be in Arizona next season, not this season. They're not winning it this season. I'd love to win it this season. I'd love for them to really speed up the process. But next season they win it, and we'll be in Phoenix. We'll be in Phoenix doing some shows. We'll be out there. We're going to take the podcast to Phoenix. That's what we plan to do. So, and classy by you, Lisa, by the way. Instead of making excuses or pointing fingers, you do none of that, Lisa. You are class. That is absolutely awesome. Let's go. Let's see. I think the 305 Fins and Canes hats only available at team stores. Okay. All right. Well, but the Canes don't have a cane. They don't have a store unless it's on campus. Because the Dolphin Stadium one or Hard Rock Stadium only has a Dolphin one. They don't have their own stadium. So they don't really have a team store. This is more a team store than anything. Have you ever been here Have any of you guys ever been in this place? This is the most dangerous place in the world. I'm serious. This is the place that it's hard to just purchase one thing. Seriously. There's so many cool items in here that it's stuff you never even thought of. So, I don't know, man. No team store is going to have any like this place. I mean, what Brett does, Brett is out of control. He's a madman. That's what people don't understand. He's a madman. He finds a way to add more and more merchandise every single week that you come. There's more merchandise there. It's crazy, dude. That's why he's expanded already a couple times. It's awesome. Really is impressive as hell. GP Trap says, I'll be your luggage carrier for the Phoenix Super Bowl. We're going to need it, right? Sean, you're going to need help with the equipment and everything, right?
Yeah, we're going to need a couple of them, actually.
Exactly. Definitely. Kelvin Smith says, Big O, I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and it's finna be lit. You damn right. Damn right. I'm going to go, and I want to go to that cigar bar that I went to in Scottsdale. When I went for the Super Bowl, the last time it was there, that I went to go do shows for a week, I went to a cigar bar that was really cool. I forgot the name of it now, but it's like 25-minute drive away from the stadium, 30 minutes. So I guess it's Scottsdale. I think it's Scottsdale. I'm pretty sure. And I forgot the damn name of it, man, but it's a really good cigar. I mean, really slick cigar bar. I was really impressed with it. Big O, did you see Joy Taylor's bikini pics? That's all I can say. I'll leave it at that. I saw it, cigar and all. See? Told you I saw it. Cigar and all. I think it was a pink bikini, if I'm correct. Right? Pretty sure. Yeah, she was living it up in Vegas with a cigar and a bikini. Yes. Yes. I definitely saw that. What else do we have here that I wanted to talk about? I wanted to talk about something Dolphins-wise with you guys, and I want to put something out there for you guys. Over the next 3 years, because I was thinking about this, watching the Bucs win a championship, and I'm wondering, okay, who's our next team to win a championship? And who's better suited right now over the next 3 years to win a championship? And I started to think about it. Obviously, Inter Miami is out and the Marlins are out. They're not going to win a championship in the next 3 years. There's no freaking way in hell. Make sure you record that because that's guaranteed that it will happen. Anyway, so no way it happens with those two. Okay? So now I move on to the other teams. And I look at the Heat, and I know it's possible for them to overcome and do it, but can they in the situation that they're currently in where they don't have first-round picks for years to come? Their players aren't necessarily sexy enough. Their best player right now is, best or second best, because Bam is their best. Their second best player is an older player now that probably doesn't have much left in the tank, that 3 years from now, he's not going to be anywhere near what he is now. I think the bottom's about to fall off on him in the next year or two as it is. That's why I would not extend him. So I'm not convinced yet that the Heat have the pieces in-house, and by adding a piece, it's going to make the complete difference and you're going to win it all. Because I can't say I can count on Tyler Hero. You know what I mean? I can't. He hasn't earned my trust. I haven't seen a guy that's mature enough to handle everything that he went through the year before, obviously, because it got to his head. That's the good thing about Booker, by the way. He's so good that this will motivate a dude like that. You know, that's the difference, and he's accomplished. You know what I mean? But again, I know he didn't have a good night last night, but he's young. He hasn't been in this position, but this is good. It's a good lesson for him, like all of us. You know, I have a saying that success is fed from failure. And you can bet your ass on that. And so who is set up? And I started to think about it. Okay, Marlins are out. Inter's out. I don't think the Miami Heat are in position to win a title in the next 3 years because of the fact that they lack so much ammo to acquire anything. So now you're asking for the perfect storm to be available in a stud that you can just sign. And that's not available this offseason. So that's 1 year in. Is it going to be available next year and then Jimmy gets older? I think the timing just kind of falls off for the Heat. And I get it that we love Riley and everything that he's done and all that. I'm not saying to change it or anything. I just think they've kind of painted themselves into a corner that I don't see them winning a championship in the next 3 years. Now, I get to the two teams that I do think actually have a chance. And that's the Dolphins and the Panthers. The two teams that haven't done a lot of winning in forever. Because, mind you, the Marlins have 2 championships in the last 20 years. Right? Well, 24 years. Because 97. Okay? So they've got 2 championships in 24 years. And the Heat, they have 3 championships in the last 15 years. So those teams have had some success. Inter doesn't count because they just started. They're babies right now. So they're still in the process of all of this. But because of their, cap limitations and some of the decisions that they made, like they're stuck with Pizarro another year, and that'll be terrible. So they're not going to win it, at least the championship. Maybe they can start getting to the playoffs in another year or 2. I doubt a year, but maybe 2. But I really like the Dolphins and the Panthers, that in the next 3 years, those are the teams that are closest to a championship right now. Obviously, we need to see Tua mature. We need to see this young team mature. I know I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I feel really good about what they've constructed and what's coming on top of everything that they already have. Okay? And I think they're making shrewd and smart decisions. The Panthers, I would have never given them a shot if Dale Talon was still in place, because I already wanted his ass fired way before everybody else last year. Because I already saw the writing on the wall that what he has done is jack. For 10 years being here, you've produced nothing, dude. That you picked a couple good players? Yeah, they were at the top of the draft. And give me a break, bro. Find me some other diamonds in the rough in the second and third rounds or something. Impress me that way. And you didn't. You didn't impress me with the goalie you signed. You didn't impress me with jack crap. So I would have never picked but Bill Zito took over. And I said last year, not this past year, the year before, fire Talon. Why? Because the Panthers are a bunch of pussies. It's a soft-ass team that gets pushed around all the time. When Zito took over, he fixed that, dude. Did you see that? That's where it all changed. He made them a tougher team. He brought in the attitude that they needed. Okay? And now, hopefully, if Knight can turn into that goalie, you've got more than enough scoring. You're going to get Ekblad back. I get it. You got the Tampa Bay Lightning that you've got to deal with. Hopefully now Tampa, they were so overloaded because of that whole rule that they were able to sign guys because of their main guy being down. Now they're going to lose some of those guys. Maybe they take a step back, and that's enough for Florida to catch up to Tampa. And we have to remember this. They were competitive against Tampa. They won 2 games against Tampa. This wasn't the Heat getting swept by the Bucks. I saw some people either on Twitter or talk about, well, does it make you feel better that the Heat and the Panthers were eliminated by the champions? No, it doesn't, because that's misleading. Okay? The Heat got their asses kicked by Milwaukee. The Panthers were at least competitive with the best team in the league. And during the season, dude, they did a number on that goalie. Over and over again. Panthers can score on him. So it wasn't like they were unstoppable against the Panthers. So I have some hope already that the Panthers can get over the hump against the Lightning. And if the Lightning do lose some players this offseason and they're not as good next year, and if the Panthers somehow can make a move. Now, there is one major roadblock in the way for the Panthers, and that's the stinking contract of Bobrovsky. That unless Bobrovsky, he will get his final shot at starting this year. I guarantee you that. They're going to give him every opportunity, but it'll be on a very short leash. And the second he shows his, true colors again from what we've seen the last couple of years, they'll put the young kid in and they'll never look back. But the problem is that if Bobrovsky is not playing between the pipes, it's $10 million of hard cap numbers that you cannot use on other players and you desperately need. And that's what the Panthers are going to have to overcome. They're going to have some really young players become special quickly for them to overcome, because they are competing against other teams with $10 million less dollars. And that could be at least two good players or one incredible player. So for me right now, when I look at it, and I'd love to hear from you guys on the chat board, on the email if you're podcasting and listening at BigORadioShow@yahoo.com or there, who do you over the next 3 years out of our 5 pro teams, who are best set up to win a championship? Do you agree with me it's Dolphins and Panthers? Or would you put the other teams in there? What do you think, Sean? Who are you agreeing with me on this, or do you have another team out of the 3 that I left out that you would put in that mix?
No, I agree 100% with what you just said, because both of them, as you said, are suited where they're at, and they can make a couple moves if need be, except for the Bobrovsky deal. But there's little things that you can do with the NHL, as we saw what Tampa Bay did with some of the things there. So there's some movement that the Panthers can make. But with everything that's right now on the table, it's got to be the Panthers and the Dolphins.
Yeah. That's you know what? And that's pretty cool, because they need their turn, man. We've enjoyed some baseball championships. We've enjoyed some basketball championships. Not that I wouldn't mind the Marlins and the Heat winning more. That would be fantastic. I love that. But I want to see Inter win the MLS Cup. I definitely want to see the Panthers lift that Stanley Cup. And I would give anything to watch the Dolphins win another Super Bowl, because when they won it, I was a child. And I didn't really get to enjoy it and appreciate it the way I would nowadays, especially after being, around 54 years. I would enjoy it even more, dude. You know what I mean? It would be absolutely amazing. And it would be nice if we can get that side of the cycle now, and watch the Dolphins win again, and watch the Panthers finally win one. And let me tell you something. I want the Panthers to win more than ever for 2 guys, for Viola and Sifu, because I think they're fantastic owners, man. They've done everything that you need. They spend on players. They're building they're help building everything over there at the War Memorial area, where they'll have the ice rink and helping redo everything there. They've done so much, dude. And look, they needed the goalie. They went and spent the money on the goal. It's not their fault that the GM made a bad decision. Can't do anything about that. I mean, GMs make bad decisions, but I want my owner wanting to pay and do whatever it takes to win. And that's what I love about those guys. They will do whatever it takes to win. And so for them, just for Viola and Sifu alone, I want the Panthers to win badly for them. But personally, for me, for you, for all of us that are South Florida fans, a Dolphins, a Panthers, an Inter Miami championship, that would be a lot of fun. I don't know if our town would appreciate the soccer championship that much, because the team's been around such a short time. We would probably need another 10, 15 years so people can really get to know the sport, get to know the team, fall in love with the players and those kind of things. And then maybe it would mean more. It would mean more to a guy like me that has been a local soccer lover forever. That would mean more for me than a lot of people in this town. You know what I mean? But there's no doubt that I think the Dolphins, oh my God, this town would be absolutely upside down if the Dolphins won a championship. It would be incredible. A monster feat. And I think the Panthers would bring one hell of a buzz too. When they made it to the Stanley Cup, it was an exciting time in the mid-90s. I mean, I've told you guys this over and over again. As a beat reporter, my favorite year of covering a team was that year of the Panthers making it to the Stanley Cup. That was a blast. And I love football to death. And I've been on the basketball beat, and I've been in championships for the basketball team, and I've been in a championship with the Marlins and everything. And there was nothing more fun than that Panther run in the mid-'90s. That was an absolute blast. And I think if they could do it again, I think they'd bring a lot of excitement. I don't know if it would be the same because those guys connected with the community, and that's the one thing that these Panthers don't necessarily do. Because you have a lot of Europeans, so it's not, they don't have the personality and stuff to connect, like the Scrudlins and the Mellenbees and the Beezers and all these kind of guys that we had on that team that connected with people. It was cool. It was a different time, but still, it was. I just think the Panthers right now and the Dolphins are the ones that are closest right now to giving us that ultimate celebration that we're all searching for as sports fans. Let's see. It's going to be nothing but teal and orange, Kelvin says over in Phoenix. Let's see. The new Dolphin, GP Trap says, the new Dolphin facility, you see the videos, impressive. Had Dolphins alumni there. Dan Marino said, it's a long way from St. Thomas. Chicken wine and nails to hang your clothes. Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's different. Troy says, what's going to happen with Bob? Is he going to be a high-priced backup if we can't trade him? He'll be the highest-priced backup in the history of the NHL. It's sad, bro. Sad. But they will give him one more chance. And they're probably going to tell him, hey, you got one more chance. It's a short leash. You got to show us, or if not, we're turning the page. And you got to go Bob Seger on his ass. Ray Grulon says, hands down the Finns. Eddie says, Finns and Cats. Troy he says, I agree. Finns and Panthers are the best bet to win a championship. And I think the Finns have a chance to be special, multiple chips with this leadership and Tua. Eddie, I'm crazy like you. I believe the same thing because I'm a Tua believer, bro. I'm not worried about him playing. I know he's going to figure this out. I know he's going to ball out. I know he's going to be super crafty back there. He's an anticipatory thrower. He's a guy that understands the game really well. So I think he's going to be one of those crafty guys back there. Russell Wilson types, that kind of dude. I think he's going to do some of those kind of things. I really believe that. So I'm with you. I think they could set up to win a couple. There's no doubt. Let's see. Don says it was absolutely incredible. Panthers, he says. GP Trap says Bill Lindsay, my favorite all-time Panther. And still the greatest goal in Panther history, right? Or one or two, right? We had another one this year, but I'll go with the Lindsay one first. Tremolio says, rats at the Miami Arena. I saw. Yes, sir. Don Parlamento says, rats. Yes, rats. The next time it happens, we should be playing. There's a metal band named Ghost, and they have a song called Rats. That's the jam that they should be playing when we're throwing rats onto the ice again. I got to tell them. I don't know, maybe if they don't know anything about Ghost. Pretty good band, too. I like them. Freak Out, by the way, if you want to freak out with a metal band playing, what we had Kiss doing it with I Was Made for Loving You. Well, Ghost has a song called Dance Macabre. Check it out. Doesn't matter. Even if you don't like heavy metal, you'll love that song. If you love pop music, if you love dance, if you love alternative, you'll like that song. Put it that way. You don't have to be a metal because it's not even close to a metal song. That's the thing. It's like, wow, this is Ghost? Crazy. Because everything else you hear from Ghost doesn't sound anything like Dance Macabre. And I think it was just him having fun, like, yeah, we can do this too if we wanted to. And they did. It's crazy. Antonio says, Panthers and Dolphins win championships. Also multiple championships, Big O. Would love that, my brother. Would love that. And let me tell you, if that young goalie is special, they could win a couple. Yeah. You got to be special, okay? Because that's what it takes for goalies. Those are the guys that you need in order to really take it to the next level, because when they're dancing on their heads like that, that's just absolutely awesome. Small Dolphins notes, they re-signed Isaiah Ford, and they also signed offensive tackle Timon Paris. I think they're mostly training camp fodder, but I wanted to give you a little nugget on Isaiah Ford just for the hell of it, okay? Just for the hell of it. They're loaded at wide receiver. They're going to cut guys that are going to make other rosters. I guarantee you that. But remember last year you had the COVID and you had injuries and it depleted the hell out of that receiving core. That's the good thing about signing Isaiah Ford. He knows your system. Although no, you changed the system now, but he knows the team at least right now at the moment. So he's got to kind of relearn the system because it's been changed, obviously. But his familiarity, at least with the team, helps. And God forbid you go on a rash of injuries or you make a couple of trades late in the preseason because you think you're fine, and then you lose another guy or two after those trades. Having a guy like that around, again, not to be your number one, number two, number three, but to be your 4 or 5 guy or 6, it's not a bad thing. Isaiah does a good job overall. He can be a possession receiver. They've gotten production out of him here. I know they didn't in New England, but who cares? That's their fault, not Miami's. So that's the only, the Timmons Paris kid, he's another body in camp. You get down to him, it's not like it's like somebody asked me the other day, what do you think about Jacoby Brissett? Yeah, I like the kid. But if Tua gets injured, it's over, bro. I'm not counting on Brissett to bail anything out. Brissett is there to keep the ship afloat for half a game, for a week or two. That's it. You start having him in there for 3, 4, 5 weeks, your season's over, bro. So I'm not worried about that. And so I'm not telling you that, oh, my God, we need Isaiah Ford or anything like that. I'm just saying it's an insurance policy on top of 3 other insurance policies that are already in place. And what I'm talking about is foresight. And this team, I talked about this the other day. Foresight, bro. We didn't anticipate these X issues, but something must have been brewing behind the scenes after they signed Byron Jones because they went and drafted Igbenogany. Right? So, we better protect her. So they're ready. They go and draft a tight end this year. So you got to pay Gesicki. But if the negotiations go awry and Gesicki wants too much and it's out of control, you let him go and you got your guy now again. Or you can pay Gesicki and you can keep him around only for 3 more years if you want and cut him after. And the 4th year, he doesn't have to be here for the contract, or 5th. And you can then pay Hunter Long, right? Is the kid's name, right? Is it Hunter Long? You can pay the Boston College kid, and then you can let go of Gesicki. It's all foresight, dude. It's all. I told you that Tua's an anticipatory thrower. Well, Chris Grier is an anticipatory GM. He looks at every situation and then sees what problems do I have coming up, or what possible problems do I have coming up, or what changes would I like to make coming up, or what contracts are coming up. Okay, let me plan and try to have something else in place just in case this happens. Even Jacoby Brissett, who I tell you is not a savior, which, of course, 99% of backups in the history of the NFL aren't saviors. Once in a blue moon, you get a guy. But more often than not, they're just there to keep the ship afloat. But you need one, right? You lost fit. You went and got yourself a respectable one, just in case. So you can at least stay competitive at times. So yeah, you like Gaskins, but you still draft a kid from Cincinnati. You still sign Malcolm Brown. Okay? So while you have Gaskins and Salvon Ahmed, you still make other moves. And so the Isaiah Ford move, again, I just found it to be interesting because it's an insurance policy on top of an insurance policy on top of another insurance policy that are already in place. And I really like the way Grier does his work overall. And we're only in year 3, man. We're only in year 3 of all of this. But those 2 moves, while they mean nothing that much on the greater scale, if you look a little deeper, there's a little bit more meaning to it, actually. Love it. Remember, you can reach out to us on the YouTube channel at Big O Radio Show. Email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Twitter, Big O Show. And Cash App and Venmo. You can always support us there. Cash Big O Show. Send it in. Cash Big O Show. We always appreciate that also. I told you in the first hour that I was going to talk about a player that I don't think is very smart. And I would be pretty concerned if I'm the team that actually is what's it called? Employing him. And the man's name is Dwayne Haskins. And so Dwayne Haskins, as you know, recently got punched out by his wife or fiance or something. I forgot what it was. It was fiance. So the Pittsburgh quarterback, right, after getting punched in the face by the fiance, who knows why he got punched. Maybe this is why he got punched. But he was involved with an IG model. Her name is Vanessa Chantal. And she apparently, she's been in a bunch of music videos with all kinds of different rappers. So they reached out to her, and the reporter of this story, let me give the reporter SG King credit for this story. And she's a good-looking girl, by the way. IG model, you would figure she is. So Haskins wanted her to give back $20,000. Okay, so this is what happens. He goes and he DMs her. And so they ask her about it. They say, hey, what about the $20K with Haskins? She says, positive light and many gossip about the case. So guys told us to share. I'll be more than happy to pass along. Didn't cheat on his wife with me, Haskins, over a year ago. Money back from trips, Chanel, etc. The altercation they had didn't have anything to do with me. In fact, I wish them the best. It was just a very bizarre request and very troubling for me that he would think this request would be approved. So obviously you guys were more than friends, right? Yes, but we were never officially dating. In my opinion, I would call it just friends, or shall we say friends with benefits, right? He was getting a benefit. She was getting a benefit. So why is he all of a sudden asking you for money back? Was it a loan? She says, hell no. All those were gifts. I honestly can call it. How are you going to call a loan a Chanel purse? And so the guy says, exactly. Just strange he wanted the cash back from you. Why do you think he asked for it? He seems to be having a lot going on. I honestly don't know. He was a nice guy when I was seeing him, by the way. Terrible timing for him to drop you a note, LOL. I was thunderstruck. No bad feelings towards him. I hope he gets it together for the season. Okay, appreciate the info. Thanks for the interview. I appreciate y'all. Let's make something positive out of this. So then, it's just, so how stupid are you that, we saw Deshaun Watson be an incredible dumbass. Being Deshaun Watson, you shouldn't be calling strangers on IG for sex and for massages. You're just setting yourself up for a lawsuit. And where are we? With 22 of them. If you're Dwayne Haskins, okay, you're Dwayne Haskins, dude. You're a target now. You gave the woman the money already. You gave her the Chanel bags. You took her on trips. You banged her. Bro, that's the exchange. That's it. You don't go asking for it back. And in today's social media world, everybody will then find out. But here's the scariest part of it all, Sean. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
This is a quarterback making these kind of decisions. This is the guy the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to have on the field at one point, right?
As long as he's not making those decisions for the Miami Dolphins, I'm okay.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm with you there. But this is your quarterback, bro. This is the guy that's supposed to be above it all. Like, do you think you could ever catch Russell Wilson doing stupid-ass stuff like that? Ever?
No.
He goes and finds a Ciara who has as much to lose as him and marries that beautiful woman. Okay?
A good decision.
Yeah, a great decision. Have you seen Ciara? Holy crap. Do you think Pat Mahomes would do something stupid like that?
No, I do not see him making this decision.
No. How about Tom Brady?
I'm going to go no, but I did watch him throw, heave the Super Bowl trophy. I don't think that was too wise of a decision.
That can be replaced.
That's true.
All right.
All right. No,
that's insured. It's insured already as it is. It's that's that's a little fun.
Is
but
it Brady on the sauce? Maybe this is
right. Exactly that too. He was on the sauce, but even on the sauce, he wouldn't even go back and reach out to an IG model. Not even Brady on the sauce would do something like this.
That's true.
I mean, but think about it. Your quarterback has to be the dude that rises above everything, bro. He has to be the guy that's smarter than everybody in the building. He has to be the guy that leads everybody in the building. He has to be the guy that sets the example for everybody in the building. This is what you want as an example in your building? Dwayne Haskins? A failed draft pick who now continues to make stupid decisions. And not only that, your quarterback is so dumb, he also can get knocked out by his fiance. I mean, come on, bro. He got a tooth knocked out. Apparently, they say he did it. I mean, give me a break, dude. Dwayne Haskins, bro. Come on. Just a little bit of a brain, not a pea brain. Holy moly, dude.
Sounds like that's his issue. He has a little bitty brain.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. How are you going to call an IG model back? You paid for her services, bro. The trips, the Chanel bag, whatever you gave her, that's gone, bro. Tremolio says, why do all the IG models have the same bikini and boots type? Copycats. I didn't notice that. Ray says, great point. Oh, that is why I respect you. You know your stuff. I appreciate it. Odd man out is Smythe. Probably. Rams lost their running back to Achilles. Yeah, I know. Yesterday was sucks, man. Cam Akers. Alex Diaz says, great take on the Ford take, but do you think that the rebuild is officially over? And also, Haskins is an idiot. Also, I was going back and forth with my buddy, and he says, if X is gone, then the D takes a huge step back. It'll be next year if they move him, I think. I don't know if ask your buddy, did the defense improve the first year without him? And see what he said. Watch him go like this. Watch him do that. Tell me, X was injured the whole year. And the defense got better the whole year. And then they won in New England and knocked him out of the bye week and made him go to the wild card round, which was the beginning of the end of the dynasty. So how's that, buddy? Tell him Nick Needham was doing some work. Just tell him like that. I'm not telling you they're better than X. I'm just saying, don't tell me that you're going to take a step back. Because that's a general conversation that we can have, but that may not be the fact. You might be able to scheme it in a way that you're fine. Or who's to say that Noah isn't a good player, bro? That's the thing, And also tell your buddy that the guy that drafted X is the guy that drafted Noah. Okay? And it's the guy that found Nick Needham too, by the way. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. And if the Holland kid kicks ass, then you can, nudge your buddy and say, he also found Holland too here. See that guy kicking ass? That's why we're not worried if X comes or goes. Because it's about the team, not about the individual. So, just tell your buddy that. Tell him, hey, that first year, X wasn't there at all. And did the defense not get better as the year went on? Did they not win in New England in a game that New England desperately needed? And all Miami needed, and by the way, we were all rooting against no, I wasn't, but I mean, remember, it was the suck for Tua, tank for Tua thing. People hated the wins, right? You remember that year, right? Some people were hating every time the Dolphins won because it was hurting their draft position. And they still ended up with Tua. When it's all said and done, you ended up with the guy anyway. That's why don't assume that, oh my God, he's gone. We're done. No, man. Hey, I thought Minka was, wow, he's gone and Tunsil's gone And they won 10 games last year. Wow. Holy crap. Damn. They won 10 games last year without Minkah and Tunsil. Damn, they improved. Wow. So they traded away a franchise tackle. They traded away a safety. And now they may trade away a corner. And maybe they keep winning anyway because they keep replacing them and finding a cheaper option as a rookie. You know, let me tell you something. Here's the one thing. Here's the part, Sean, that nobody thinks of, right? Everybody's always jumping on the negativity, right? Meanwhile, these guys are building this team up. They've won 5 and 10 wins. Okay. What if X plays out this year as his final year? Because I don't think they'll trade him because of the cap hit. They'll wait till next year. They'll get more value next year. They trade X. And what if Noah steps in and becomes a really good player right from the get-go? And so you end up with more picks. You end up with a cheaper player at that corner spot for more cap space because if he becomes a starter, you don't have to pay him for a few more years because he's a first rounder. I mean, you know what you're going to end up doing again? Then drafting another corner, and then you're cutting Byron Jones 2 years from now. That's how the cycle goes. And that's how the anticipatory GM works. So spin it all you want negative. It could actually turn into a complete positive, just like all the people with the negativity. Oh, I don't want to see the Dolphins win. It's hurting our draft position. I want to tank for Tua. Well, dude, you ended up with Tua. Oh. Come on, man. Come on. Let's enjoy the ride. I think I've told you this from the moment that rebuild started. And I know I was called crazy. Enjoy the freaking ride. We got real football. Give them a hand. I love people nitpicking and all this stuff. They have turned this entire franchise around, and they're headed to better and bigger heights. Give it some time, man. Okay? Big O, Coach P wants to know if you think the 49ers will have a top 3 defense this year. That's a good one. I think they could definitely have a top 3 defense this year. Yes, I'm pretty sure of that. Okay. Bosa has got to stay healthy, bro. You know what I mean? The Bosas have a problem with staying healthy. So to them, health is kind of difficult. So that's the one thing that I would say. I'm going to pull up their defense right now. I'm going to pull up the depth chart to check out the defense. But if I'm correct, I know they had some losses, but I think overall that defense is still incredibly strong, and they definitely have a shot. Armstead, I love Kinlaw, man. Bosa, all right, Warner, Kittle. I mean, where Bosa, Kinlaw, Warner. Yeah, Verrett. I felt bad for Verrett a couple years ago with the Chargers when he suffered the Achilles injury. Jimmy Ward there, okay. The Ambry kid is going to be interesting too at cornerback. Also, it's another kid. Yeah, they've got enough talent to be a top 3, top 5 defense. Yeah, but it all hinges on Bosa staying healthy. The Bosas are phenomenal players, but they have a little bit of their dad's bad luck, unfortunately. Not as bad as their dad, but they have a little bit of that. But yeah, they've got enough talent there. Yeah, man, they've got enough talent. I'm looking at the names there. Yeah, they should be all right. The 3rd round pick, the Ambry kid, I'm interested to see if he gives their corners a little run for their money too. So they added some depth too at cornerback also in the draft, which is interesting. Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah, they could be a top 3, top 5. Yeah, all Bosa, man. All Bosa has to stay healthy. That's the key for them. Big O, I enjoy this ride. This happy ass Dolphins fan. Oh, happy ass Dolphins fan for a long time, I think is what he meant. He put ask. There you go. Oh man. All right. We are going to wrap it up here from Caneswear in Davie. We'll be out here next month. We'll give you the date ahead of time. So if you want to come by and say hi, like some have today, which I appreciate. I know John came and They didn't wait till we were at the top of the hour so I could take a damn break to talk to him a little bit. So, John, thank you. Mitchell, thank you, sir, for stopping by and making a personal donation. That is very kind of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you out there. As always, remember to smash the hell out of the like button. It is so important you smash the like button. Subscribe, share the show with other Dolph fans and Heat fans and Marlins fans and Panther fans and Inter Miami fans and Canes fans and FAU fans and FIU fans. This is right here, the local sports talk show that you need to be listening to every single day. We will catch you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be back in studio. I love you all. You all be good. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same Pat channel.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
This is the Big O Show.